Here's a video from the wetland side. I've been draining it the last couple days, trying to get all the silt from the clay in the yard out. But I know some people wanted to see the edging. And right now, this is before the landscaping, so I had this not all covered. But you can see that the ground slopes away, so that any mud, so there's some high areas that I need to deal with. But in general, it slopes away from the edge and it'll be covered with either gravel or mulch, depending on where we are. You can see in that space back there, back over here for a second, where they folded it over and buried it back down, so then there's an extra few inches of liner. Whereas up here, on where it's higher ground, they just beached it out, and we're going to bring in, like I said, another few tons of gravel of the 3/4 inch to sort of backfill all these areas around the edge. Hopefully the irrigation will be going in on Monday, with landscaping starting later in the week, but again, we're supposed to get rain, so who knows. You can see that here's the first waterfall coming out of the bog. This is where I was draining, and I have to fill that in with rocks. There's a cool little area here, and my daughter's put some moss in there, but it's going to have to come out because the water can actually come right over through here and comes over there. It was actually a happy little accident with how they were putting together that flat rock for the waterfall up here. So some more edging. You can see it's just folded away. This whole area will slope down even more than it is right now. So I'm not too worried about this side. However, the other side might need some work, either in grading or pulling that liner up a little bit, just to make sure that when we get rain, that it doesn't come into the pond itself. Again, some liner. This is just up high on purpose, because we haven't done the landscaping. Once we do that, all of that'll be covered. We won't be able to see any of the liner. Here's the top of the waterfall itself. They put a bib liner under here to try and force most of it over, but some's still going behind. But when it's going, it's actually going so strong it doesn't really matter that some of it's going behind, because there's so much velocity. You'll see in a few days when I try to get a video of it up and running. But it actually comes out, it looks like it's shooting out sideways from this little spot right in here, and then obviously it's coming over in these spots here, then around back. See, even some of the rocks had a lot of dirt on them, and that's all starting to come out with the waterfall running. Then we have these two lights that shine right up on the waterfall. The water level's above those lights, so you can't see them, except for the turbulence of the waterfall is too much anyway, and you can't really see them. So there's more. This area just sort of, the liner just sort of goes right up to the top and beaches out, if I remember how they did it. I didn't get pictures of that before they had started doing that tops area, but I'll have the landscaper, like I said, pull that area down a little bit behind there, so none of the water comes back up and over with any mud or silt in it. Some more areas where the liner was folded. You can see a wire going over there as well. That'll all get covered with gravel. This area we just sort of beached out. Again, all the boxes to control the urns and the jets underneath. There's 5 jets actually in the lower part of the lower bowl, and then be able to control that. There's an auto top off. You can see a pump vault here in the intake bay. For the tops of the rocks, they just used foam for the tops of the stacked slate wall just used foam, and that'll sort of mature in is what we're hoping. Then that'll have more of a rock-like look to it, but that'll all be under the water line, so hopefully we'll see how that matures. We can always try some different options there once that goes, but hopefully that helps with some of the things. If somebody lets me know some of the specific areas that you want, I'd be happy to video that too.